For more than a decade, they were pretty much rock music's biggest mystery. I mean, think about it. A band led by a demonic anti-pope, with a whole crew of anonymous, identical musicians behind him, playing some of the absolute catchiest rock songs you will ever hear. Okay, let's get into it and unmask the incredible story of the Swedish phenomenon known as ghosts.
Just look at this. This isn't just a rock show. It's a full-blown theatrical production. You've got these huge cathedral backdrops, smoke everywhere, super dramatic lighting, and of course, these unbelievable costumes. It's like one part rock concert, one part satanic mass, and it just immediately makes you ask, what in the world is going on here?
For years, that was the question when you talked about Ghost. Their entire identity was a secret, and they guarded it so carefully. But as we're about to see, a secret that big is really, really hard to keep forever.
All right, to really understand the mystery, we have to go back, way back, to the beginning, when the world first saw the band's shocking and totally unforgettable frontman.
This slide really just nails the two key parts of Ghost's whole identity. On the left, you've got the leader, this character called Papa Emeritus, basically a skeletal, demonic anti-pope. And then on the right, you've got his band, 5 totally identical masked musicians known only as the Nameless Ghouls. No names, no faces, just pure anonymous mystique.
And here's the brilliant twist. You see all this satanic imagery and you're thinking, okay, this has got to be some brutal death metal, right? Nope. What you get is this amazing mix. Imagine the heavy, dark riffs of a song like Cerise, but then it hits you with a chorus that is so catchy it could be a pop hit. It's like, I don't know, like Black Sabbath and ABBA had a baby, and it was raised in a haunted church. And that contrast is exactly what made them so irresistible. So, with this powerful combination of mystery and melody, the band just started to take off. Their anonymity wasn't just some gimmick, it was the engine driving their entire mythology.
And you can see their momentum building right here on this timeline. I mean, in only 6 years, they went from being this underground curiosity to full-on international stars. Their second album, Infestissima, hit #1 in their home country, Sweden. They kept things fresh by introducing new versions of their frontman, Papa Emeritus II, then the third. And by 2016, they were winning a Grammy, beating out some of the absolute biggest names in metal.
Now, despite all the satanic lyrics and imagery, the band was always really clear about what they were doing. As one of the Nameless Ghouls said, it was all tongue-in-cheek. They weren't actually trying to start a cult, they were putting on a show. That's the key thing to remember here. This was always about performance art. But behind the scenes of this incredible performance, a conflict was brewing. And in 2017, a lawsuit was about to rip the mask off and completely change the band's story for good.
For the fans, Ghost was this secret brotherhood, you know? But the reality, as it turned out, was a lot more complicated. And in 2017, that carefully built wall of anonymity started to completely crumble.
So here's what went down. 4 former Nameless Ghouls filed a lawsuit against the band's leader, claiming he was cutting them out of the profits. The court documents dropped a total bombshell. They said their vocalist and former friend was trying to turn Ghost into his own solo project. Now, that kind of fight is an old story in music, but for a band built entirely on secrecy, it was a fatal blow to the whole illusion.
And it's because of that lawsuit that the world finally learned the name of the man behind Papa Emeritus, Tobias Forge, a Swedish musician who, it turned out, had been the one single creative force behind the band from the very beginning. The biggest secret in rock music was officially out.
Forge's response in court laid it all out. He argued that there was never any legal partnership. The Nameless Ghouls, from his perspective, weren't bandmates in the way we usually think of them. They were musicians for hire, paid to play his music and wear the costumes. He was the writer, the visionary, the ghosts in the machine, so to speak.
So with the truth finally out there, the entire narrative of Ghost got a major rewrite. It went from being the story of an anonymous collective to the master plan of a single, brilliant artist.
This slide just contrasts the perception and the reality perfectly. The myth was this secret group of equals. The reality? It was Tobias Forge's solo project the entire time. The mystique wasn't just random magic. It was a carefully, meticulously crafted brand, managed and directed by just one guy. A lot of people thought the reveal would destroy the band, but Forge, he just leaned right into it. He retired the whole Papa Emeritus character and introduced a brand new frontman, the slick Cardinal Copia. It was his way of proving that the creative vision was as strong as ever, even without total anonymity.
And yeah, far from fading away, Ghost absolutely exploded. Their first album after the lawsuit, Prequel, got a Grammy nomination. The next one, Impera, won an American Music Award. They started headlining arenas on their own and even toured with giants like Metallica. It seems like the truth, in a weird way, had set them free.
And all of this leaves us with one final thought to chew on. For years, the mystery was the magic of Ghost. But now that we know it was all the grand design of one man, is the illusion any less powerful? Or does knowing the secret actually make the artistry, the ambition, and the sheer nerve of the whole performance even more impressive?